All right, test, 1 2 3, test 1 2 and 3. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. How are you guys doing this fine evening? I am very late, because I had said like, oh yeah, 20 minutes. It was like 9:05. It's been like 9:30, but better late than never. The show must go on. I was like making sure things are good behind the scenes, making sure the production is uh maintained before I go live. So hopefully we don't have any issues. The connection seems to be going well tonight as well, so that shouldn't be an issue either. But we will keep an eye on it for sure. But that's not what you're here to hear. We are here for more Road to Greatness. It is the North American number 60, and it is the prelude to End of the Road. And we are joined once again on the commentary by our friend Aberration.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me on again. It's good to be back, and hopefully I should be able to come back on consistently this time.
Hey, love to hear it. Love to hear schedules working in our favor.
For sure.
But yes, because coming back, like you said, it's my return from not being on here last week, because RTG
hmm
Frog had the helm of the stream last week with KTK on the microphone for commentary. Greatly appreciate those two for taking it up to help where I was unavailable. But we are back, and we are very excited for this top four, because we had a little bit of a shakeup this time around. Two of them at least, in fact,
hmm
in losers. A crazy runs. We have a top four featuring the names of PEC, KTK, Gylergin, and oh Jesus Christ, names. Gylergin, and we have
And Lemon.
Lemon. Yes.
Yeah,
Reigning.
this is kind of interesting. Like you kind of told me before the stream, we had a couple upsets in the losers bracket.
Oh yeah, because from what I looked at in the like, if we take a look at the challenge, because Gylergin and Lemon lost pretty early on in winners round 3. I think I can actually bring it on to not browser. Oop, oop. That's not the browser.
Yeah, your boy
That's
lost to
Chrome.
Neo Sinanju in winners round two, no, three. Wait, I think this is No, so yeah, winners round three, and lost to Lemon in round losers of round four, and Lemon went on to beat Deadly Shock to make top four.
uh, Everything that you said is very true. Now we got the right thing. Yes, that is what happened indeed. Gylergin and Lemon fell in the winners, and Gylergin went to probably repeating exactly what you said. I'm sorry, but beating Quattro. Well, first of all, beating 99 Dash, then Quattro, then Neos Nanju, and they were able to get there in the top four on this side, and then Lemon coming to beat Devlin Hart, your boy. That's a big one right there.
Mm-hmm.
Deadly Shock, another big one, and meeting Gylergin. So the two that made these super good runs and losers meeting the losers semis. So that'll be what we'll look at after winners final here between VRG, TEC, and Calamity, KTK.
Yep. So I assume we'll probably see Scizor versus either Garchomp or Gengar. I would. I honestly don't know which one he might want to pick for this particular matchup. Um, I I I could see him maybe going with the Gengar because most people don't generally know the Gengar matchup all that much since there's like two Gengars on in the entire world. Well, not literally two, but there's not a ton of them out there.
This kind of feels like that. I guess is what you're aiming to say.
Yes. It's also very weird, like trying to learn the matchup, just because of all the like iframes and like just vanishes he can do at like the at kind of weird moments. It's kind of hard to deal with if you don't know how to play around them.
Yeah, I would definitely. I would believe that for sure. Like foreign matchups because of a character being like you said, underused or just not as prevalent in the high level. People probably
Right.
wouldn't be as adept to the matchup as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to the characters you see a lot more. Your Breaksons, your your well, Garchomp is fairly
Lucarios.
prevalent. Lucarios,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, like TEC is kind of pioneering the Scizor.
For sure.
But let's go ahead and speaking of TEC, let's check out their set with KTK for winners final.
Okay, so he is going with the Garchomp here.
Indeed. Dahlia Beach, let's go.
I wonder. I think I've seen him and other Garchomp players like to use Miss Magius as a support for the unblockable setups, but I guess he's not gonna run with it here. He's actually going for Whimsicott. Interestingly,
That is a very interesting support set.
just raw 6x after blocking the sword there.
Yeah, KTK, no fear in his heart. The TEC getting out of that tricky situation. Ooh, what a counter. Ooh, good tech from TEC. Gonna be a good bug bite. Putting himself back in the driver's seat in terms of HP. Ooh, catching him before he could get the dig. Jumping over Bullet Punch, but gonna get caught by the landing. TEC just gonna let this combo loose. Using the wall to his aid. Pushing him back into the field phase. Whimsicott support? Wait, both sides have Whimsicott.
No, TC's got the Magikarp.
Oh, you were saying that KTK had. Alright, got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a smart support to use against Garchomp because that can happen. All that damage being deleted.
KTK ready with the perfect block on the burst wave.
Oh my god. DC has been really good at just catching KTK before they go underground with their dig.
Yeah, Dig can go under a lot of stuff, but there are some, like, frames during the startup where you can still be caught by certain things. And with Scizor having quite a bit of range on his Metal Claw is no exception. But the EC here is going to set up. He's going to set up with the swords, but get caught by the 6x again. That's kind of interesting. That's probably what KDK was going for, running the 6x, trying to catch TEC out of the CA.
Well, TEC catching KTK in the air with that conversion to Bug Bite and putting him in dual phase once again, not letting that pressure get in their head at all. That grab stopping that support from being a threat, and adding synergy to their kit.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, KDK looks to be using the Whimsicott support strictly for the swords, and probably the staples as well. So it can make navigating both phases a little easier for Garchomp.
Yeah, definitely a good tool for sure. Oh, there we go. Like getting that block was definitely adding up to their synergy. So GC's gauge is gone, but using it just for the buffs. Not even needing to use the burst attack. That was close to being it right there. Letting that rip. Oh, he caught him. Most likely won't be enough to even up the HP, but that's going to be a good bit of damage right there. Very close though. 7 seconds remaining on the clock. Oh my!
That's unfortunate. Looked like KDK was gonna get a chance to kind of pull things back when it looked like TEC was trying to do a second backdash to avoid the burst attack and ended up getting caught during the recovery frames.
Yeah.
But TEC was not willing to take the grab mix up, and it looked like KDK wasn't ready for the immediate wake up homing attack there. So that kind of combined with just a couple of times where TEC was really able to maintain control of space with like the swords, the Bullet Punch and a couple of those conversions off of Metal Claw was kind of what gave TEC that first game there.
Yeah, it was really good usage of the Scizor kit. As usual, TEC just able to keep their opponents at bay and bait options, and KTK unfortunately fell for the bait in that game one. We'll see what kind of adjustments we'll see for the game number 2.
I wonder if we'll see the KTK stick with the Whimsicott or maybe possibly shift over to the Mismagius. Uh, I could see the Mismagius being particularly a good asset for Garchomp in this matchup. Not only like to get close the gap and set up those unblockables, but also to deter Scizor from like trying to put up any kind of armor in neutral. But it looks like he will go ahead and stick with the Whimsicott here.
Ooh, and that counter will be the first thing to hit in round number 1 for TEC. And Tornado giving them this combo in the aerial ace to end it off. Right, the staples and the projectile. I want to say that's Scizor's charged JY, or just JY.
Yep, it's the enhanced, the charged JY.
Gotcha. All right, good dig from KTK. Go for them playing a very patient game right now, just waiting for the other one to let something loose here. Ooh, that was a good win exchange there for KTK, but the attack triangle, good grab for TEC. Another critical grab.
That's unfortunate.
Ooh, that gave him synergy. Ooh, what a stop. But KTK not gonna let that stop them. Very good. Ooh, what a grab at the end of that too. Oh my god. Right, Magikarp is there, and the synergy. They just wanting to let this game not slip from this round slip away. Getting the first grab. KTK pushing them back. Oh, but TC gonna find that grab. That's gonna be it. Already low HP and enhanced by the synergy. That was definitely gonna be a wrap.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. KTK had a couple of opportunities there, like the punish off the 6X, but he dropped the conversion from 5YY to get the JX instead of the drill, which is an unfortunate execution error that occurs with Garchomp players sometimes. It's one of the reasons why he's one of the harder characters to play, like in terms of just executions, because those release X combos can be easy to drop.
Well, what's not dropping is TEC's combos and just getting the grab immediately afterwards. So they have the synergy on deck once again. So you kind of wonder what sort of cheer skills are running already have synergy that fast. Popping up, and Whimsicott is there, but TC not even needing their projectiles. They're just saying, I'm gonna just play the up close game and I'll just keep the pressure going and not stop until the Pokemon falls. Good lord.
Yeah, that was kind of unfortunate. KDK was hoping to kind of take his turn back, but Whimsicott, Bullet Punch isn't necessarily a projectile, obviously. So the KDK ended up eating that Bullet Punch follow up, and he's just having a bit of a hard time in general, kind of navigating around that.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate. Is once TC caught onto what you said, it was just very hard for KTK to just approach or just get hit in edgewise because TEC was just aware of once he closed that gap, he just had to win exchanges to win that attack triangle, and he did multiple times. Like we saw him get 2 critical grabs in a row in either that last round or the round before that. So TEC just had really good adaptation from the first game, just realizing what he had to do.
Yeah, he might want to try yeah, he's having a little bit of a hard time just deciding, when to go in at certain times. Because some Garchomp players have no qualms about just throwing throwing like Dragon Claw into like run cancel schmicks. But it's you got to be a little more careful against a character like Scizor because he can parry everything. So it's not easy for Garchomp at times.
Yeah, something to be aware of for sure. But not out of this just yet. This is a best of 5 set. So we have at least one more game to see play out between these two. Let's see what KTK can do any differently here for game number 3.
Wonder if he'll stick with the Garchomp here or switch up to the Gengar. Nope, he is going to stick with the Garchomp.
Garchomp here to stay.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to stick with the character you're more familiar with, even if the matchup in some ways is less favorable.
Yeah. Oh, there's KTK in the chat. Welcome to the stream. Counter attack. Is a war crime. C8. Were you saying CADC or something else?
CAHC, referring to Scizor's hover cancel out of counter attack, which allows him to like parry stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
into the hover cancel, hover stance Y and full combo.
Gotcha. Noted. All right, so a different round we're already seeing from that last round from that game. KTK is getting in more, but gonna get one more grab. AEC pushing it back to the field phase, using the swords to open up and get another good string of hits. And that was a good dashing for KTK to not get hit by the long range attack, but gonna get caught anyway up close, and another grab that could do it for that round. Close, but not gonna do it just yet. The staples. The electrode support? That's a change. But not even caring. Just walk up and grab. PEC. Showing
I didn't even
no
notice
fear.
I didn't even notice he was running electrode, and I think he was trying to throw it up to armor the staples, but he was just out of the range where he could get clipped. But speaking of getting clipped, he just got clipped by that staple just now into the tick grab for TEC as he starts off dual phase here with the life lead.
Yeah, TEC just a monster of spacing. We're seeing him get his almost maximum damage there, but dropping the last part of that combo. Both of them missing their starters. Alright, good rush in. KTK extend on the wall here. Good. Push back in the field phase. TEC having their full synergy and getting that charged counter. Another Russian grab. KTK is on their last bit of life here. Can they turn something around? The U-turn! That is going to be a turnaround and taking that round.
I'm not sure if that was a mistiming on TEC's part, or if he intentionally whiffed the grab during the block stun into and then tried to steal his turn back by throwing the U-turn after the whiff grab. If so, that was kind of a galaxy brain move, but
I wouldn't put it past him, to be honest. Man is playing.
I want to lean towards it not being intentional, but I mean, I could see some people trying to do that, like on moves where they're especially plus with like sword.
Well, hey, intentional or not, it worked out for him. And he takes that set 3-0 over KTK.
Yeah. So TC will be moving on to Grands, and that would put KTK in the loser's final spot where he will play the winner of the set between Gylergin and Lemon.
Yeah. We're about to check out Gylergin versus Lemon in the losers semifinal.
I assume we'll probably, well, of course, Lemon, who's going to be playing, well, I assume they'll probably be playing Empoleon. Has Lemon pulled out any other characters in bracket, at least that you know of?
Not that I've seen.
Okay, I didn't think so. I wasn't aware. If he does play if he does play any other characters, please by all means let me know. But
Mhm.
I assume we'll probably see the Empoleon, and Gylergin will probably either pull out the I would think he might want to go Sceptile in this matchup. But uh, who knows? Maybe he likes Charizard for this particular matchup for some reason.
Well, let's go ahead and check it out. See what the outcome was of this decision. Oh, and Donald's in the stream. Welcome to the stream. KTK was also that they were saying stable shouldn't be as cancelable as it is. I'm not familiar with the properties of it, but
It's
so it is a cancelable move.
well, yeah. I mean, yeah. You can special cancel it, but you have like a ton of it's like it's got a ton of hit stun, so you got a lot of time to like just confirm it visually. It's plus on block. I mean, you can like link a staple into another staple for like a frame trap. It's kind of a nutty move.
Wow.
At least I'm pretty sure you can anyway, if I'm not mistaken about the frame data on it. But it looks like we are going to see the Sceptile versus the Empoleon here from
Indeed.
Gylergin.
All right. Immediately we see Lemon rush in with Empoleon here. Oh, good substitution from Sceptile. Allergen going in with good pressure. For the charge JY. Gonna get blocked. Lemon good and being patient. All these projectiles are coming out. We're gonna get a side Y and forward Y of their own. EV support here. Attack and HP buff. And then the HP defense buff from Lemon's end. But good Giga Drain coming from Gylergin there. That was good on Lemon to just stay put and not jump because that anti-air was coming out from Gylergin. Ooh, what a rock smash. Ooh, what a grab right there. That could do it.
Yeah, Lemon recognized last time he had the plus frames against Gylergin in the corner. He went and popped the detect on defense. So good on Lemon to kind of make that adaptation in real time. Oh, and that looked like he perfect blocked that Leaf Blade there to get the punish with the homing attack.
Just very tight spacing here. Ooh, what a string into that rock smash. Jesus Christ! What was that? That damage was gone in the blink of an eye. Lemon. Oh my God, he slammed him down to the ground. The grab, the tech, good to get at Gylergin using the synergy enhancement. Oh my God, that damage just going back is just deleting on the opposite side for them now against Lemon. Getting some back with the synergy. Just going for the synergy burst attack, but gonna get blocked. Lemon staying put. Ooh, absorbing all of that rush in. Very good from Gylergin to keep that counter up as long as he did. The JY. Ooh, stuffing out some projectiles as well on the landing. Both of them, the mutual jump, but Lemon went in the exchange, beating out that grab with a critical hit and gonna take the round and the game for it. What a reversal. That was just down to the wire.
It was a little bit of a scramble situation there at the end. Both players were kind of whiffing some stuff in those last few seconds, and Gylergin trying to get the grab off the air tech kind of misspaced it. So there was a little bit of spaghetti there, but also I don't include. I think he also might have messed up on that. Well, he might have been. I'm not sure he meant to wake up grab against the hydro cannon, where which having the defense debuff on him on top of the crit, eating the crit from trying to grab him, probably took off half the damage he received in that last round. So, but yeah, Lemon was able to take advantage of a couple of key situations where Gylergin was showing some habits. Planted had a couple of well-timed aqua jets to get his Oki going, and those were two of the things. Oh, okay,
Oh,
okay,
some
that makes
context.
perfect sense. He thought he was going to go for the he was gonna. Gylergin says he thought Lemon was gonna go for the steel wing on the Oki off the slide. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because I mean, normally when Empoleon goes into the slide, he's usually gonna either go into the Hydro Cannon or into the steel wing to get for the chip and the plus frames. So that makes perfect sense. So.
Okay, good to get that context. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Gylergin. Good stuff so far. We're about to see some more gameplay from you two in game number 2 of Loser Semis.
We'll see if he can make some adjustments in round 2. I wonder if he'll stick with the Sceptile or change any supports for this one.
Like we're sticking with both characters here. But yeah, welcome Gylergin, welcome Donald, Lamity KTK, everybody who is hanging out with us for this stream. Road to Greatness number 60 is upon us right here. We're witnessing top 4 loser semis once again, and we are on game number 2. We're starting it off with Lemon just kind of coming in with no fear, but Gylergin just says, "Oh yeah, I will Uno reverse that real fast to get a grab." All right, both of them being good anti-air from Lemon. Ooh, almost got the anti-air of their own. Ooh, that was a good anti-air to stun them into the Giga Drain. Lead seeds. Jumping out, very good jump away. Now having Gylergin in the corner and getting that grab. All right, good for Lemon to take advantage here. Oh, gonna catch the landing and get the aerial of their own to combat Lemon. Gonna get that EV support. Ooh, getting sucked out in the air. Oh, try to go for the Leaf Storm. Ooh, good couple of projectiles from Lemon. And going for the Russian and the Rock Smash. Jeez. Ooh, good JY. Oh, the counter CADC to part of it, but still got stuffed out. Oh, Lemon finding a winning opportunity to get that low profile hit and take that first round.
Yeah, that was good knowledge by Lemon to recognize Sceptile's 5x that he was charging there to get him to try to meaty with is a high, so you can go underneath that with a low. That goes over that low profiles.
Oh, cool. Okay. Oh, he still had enough time to block that JY. Very good from Gylergin. Ooh, using the extra like the extra jump. That I had for a second to avoid projectiles, but Lemon is still on this offensive. All right, synergy. Ooh, what a clash there to stop that to stop Lemon from getting any sort of wall pressure. Enhanced grab, doing that extra damage. Lemon feeling the heat, gonna go into their burst as well. Gonna try to solidify this round and possibly the game here. Catching the landing, and yep. That puts Gylergin on the round board.
That was good on Gylergin. It looks like he's been at times trying to put himself in the right place to be able to react or punish like the JY, but just hasn't had like the right timing or the right positioning. But he was there at the right place at the right time that time.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that was a good slide from Lemon. Just throwing out these icicles. Catching Gylergin. Alright, some debuff on that defense. Lemon's been really good at just catching Gylergin whenever he's swinging from that vine and try to get an approach, just stuffing him out with these ice blocks. And then that ice beam. Alright, so good leaf blade there. But gonna negate the projectiles that we're going for using the slide and the rocks. Oh my god, the damage is insane from Lemon. I see EDCing away from some projectiles. Substitution. Good. I don't know if that's forward or back Y projectile.
Forward Y.
Forward Y. Oh, Leaf Storm. But got an attack debuff somewhere. We're going to forward Y and going to go into the synergy. Gonna try to catch them as they jump. Beautiful dodge by Lemon. Wait, he armored through that. Oh! That was a beautiful whiff punish by Lemon. Seeing that grab fail to connect, and they just arm hammered that last bit of damage out of that gauge. That is a 2-0 victory for Lemon.
Yeah, we saw that again towards the end where Gylergin was trying to make the read on the Steel Wing by going for the Leaf Storm, but ended up eating another crit Hydro Cannon again. Uh, Empoleon's one of those characters where you kind of just need to respect his Oki at times, especially when he's like in the middle of a slide. Like he's not going to be able to recover. He's not going to be able to like. He's not going to be able to. He's not going to be kind of like Gengar or Blastoise where he can like mix the throw in with like an ambiguous setup. Sometimes you kind of just have to like hold that chip against Empoleon, and unfortunately, eating too many of those steel wings ended up costing Gylergin.
That it did. So unfortunate drops from Gylergin, but still super well played. Lemon will be advancing into losers final against KTK.
Now this will be interesting to see. I don't know how this matchup against Empoleon goes for Garchomp, but I'd be interested to see if KTK does pull out the Garchomp again, or if he decides to go the Gengar this time.
We'll just have to see as we enter into the match. All good there?
So he is going to stick with the Garchomp here.
Yes, yes.
Wonder if we'll see him pull out the Whimsicott again, maybe to deal with some of the projectiles like the JY, the Ice Beam, and maybe some of the Field Face stuff like he did against Scizor.
I could definitely see that being a thing. Wait, I see Mimikyu actually.
Yep.
And then still running the Sylveon support Lemon.
Oh!
Oh my god.
That was really smooth. Using the dig using the 8A cancel into dig to profile under the neutral Y, and then using the dig at the right timing to punish the Aqua Jet.
Oh god, Lemon's schmoving. I'm just gonna say that. just using the slide momentum that Empoleon builds from all this ice. Oh my god, that shield pressure is so strong. Like both characters were just going in with their respective aerial games. But KTK catching a good bit of hits here, using that auto drop. Well, like insta drop rather. The Mimikyu adding some extra damage there. Pushing him on the wall. Ooh, not gonna get the full maximization. Good heck from Lemon. I think that's Drill Peck. Get that anti-air. Got another one coming out from the corner. Oh, a really great catch from KTK.
Oh, that was unfortunate. He was trying to get the follow-up with the JY, but just didn't quite have the spacing there. Oh, and that will be a punish for Lemon.
Tried and true dig punish. That is a red shield. He's gotta definitely come out of this. Good counter. And the Garchomp damage is there. Very good from KTK to get from that corner. And just quick draw on that last part of the field phase. Ooh, good counter from Lemon. But KTK gonna jump out of danger there. Gotta get the counter anyway. Ice Beam. And gonna continue this combo even further. Alright. Wrong option. Ooh, good Pizza Cutter JX from KTK. Oh my god, he keeps it going. Wait. Wow. He crossed him up, well, not crossed him up, but he's just punching him back and forth twice to get that extra damage. Oh my god, but just Lemon just deleting all the work that KTK did with just a good critical hit. Ooh, what a grab. That is a critical hit for KTK.
Yeah, Lemon was probably anticipating a run cancel into drill, but KDK had mixed him up there with the Sand Tomb. You always got to be you always got to be wary of that Sand Tomb in the corner, especially uh, when Garchomp is in burst there.
Oh, absolutely. Because that Sand Tomb was a lot, and just getting a good couple of those JXs in dual phase, like won him a good bit of critical hits. Just winning those attack triangle situations, and just barely just outspacing the rushing options that Lemon was going for, because they were both going in for many options of just aggression, but KTK was just able to get the slightly more calculated hits where they mattered more, and that gave them that win for the first game.
Yeah, there were a couple miscues on Lemon's part, like you said in field phase where he was like trying to set up Rock Smash Oki from Defog, but he kind of got it started a little late, and there was a gap where KDK was able to jump out and like get the pizza cutter over the Rock Smash before he could get it set it up. Uh, there were also just a couple situations where we saw KDK was able to like navigate through some of Empoleon's options with the with like the bubbles from the slide and things like that. So we'll see how Lemon if Lemon can kind of tighten things up here in this next match.
And we will indeed. I just wanted to vocally say welcome to J. Is that JTor723? Like JTor. Thank you for tuning into the stream. Hope you're enjoying the Pokken gameplay. We're watching sets in retrospect here. These games have all already been played, but because of the lack of a live spectating feature, we have to collect replays, and that's what we're checking out right now. And we're going to be going from a game number 2 in losers final of RTG 60. Ooh, what a good JY. But not going to get anything else off of it, though. Oh, anticipating that. That's a good Sand Tomb. Does the animation change if it's a critical hit, or no? I don't think it does.
It does.
It does? Okay. I thought
Yes.
so. Oh my god, he's got like 5 of these in a row. What can Lemon do? Okay. Got the shield up. A good drill pack. This is what you definitely need to get out of this corner. Oh, not another one, dog. Just getting the combo off of
those Sand Tombs.
He's just dead. My god. Had me so flabbergasted I didn't have the overlay up. But we're good now.
Yeah, KDK's starting to mix up some of the timing of those Sand Tombs now. Instead of just like doing the raw Sand Tombs on like wake up, he's doing like some tick grabs into the Sand Tombs.
Well, it looks like Lemon is already picking up on some of said timing. He was able to get a critical hit against one of them, but KTK is adapting back, and wow, a great drill pack into, I want to say, Aqua Jet. Ooh, all right, good string of hits from Lemon, pushing the initiative. All right, that's a good that was a good, excuse me, anti-air option from KTK, pushing Lemon back on this wall. Ooh, good tack from that corner. Lemon definitely was feeling pressure there. Mimikyu support. All right, getting that additional damage and the knockdown from Mimikyu. Extending that combo from the wall, bouncing off of it, back in the field phase, but Lemon having synergy burst. But KTK also has synergy, so they would need to use it right then and there. First attack, does he keep the shield up? He does. And yeah. Oh, but it shifted phase though, so he's able to block it that time. Wait, the whirlpool? He was above it! What awareness from KTK. I didn't even realize he had time to jump, but he made it. He made it happen.
Yeah, you can. There was a gap after the Aqua Jet, where you can like go into certain other options. It looked like, yeah, it looked like KTK. It was interesting. He went for the looks like he was anticipating the into the cancel into the burst grab. Lemon tried to get there, which of course will connect if you stay in shield. But KDK was ready for it and got the beefy crit 8A to close out that round.
Very well done. And J-Tor real fast says saying that this game is legit. I just got done on my channel. I think this game needs some more hype. It definitely does. Especially with it getting its last hurrah at Worlds this year. Definitely keep the support and the hype going for Pokken for as much as it can. At the devs realized we could use you know, a real late update or something. You know, give us like some netcode. Give us like another character to fill in that one spot in the corner, please, on the character roster or something like that. I mean, I'm just saying something. But all the same, this game is very fun to see as we have witnessed so far tonight. We're about to check out some more of it and see game number 3 of this set. Best of 5 situations give us at least the 3 games. We'll see if Lemon's able to turn this around or if KTK just continues to dominate. I'm gonna also do this real. You said you just got done on your channel, so were you also streaming, J2? I'll give you a shout out.
I think that's what he said.
Yeah. There we go. Back on Thalia Beach. Here we go. Battle begins, and KTK starts it off with a grab. Of course.
Just raw grab him.
Raw grabbing. Oh wow, caught him as soon as he was trying to go for that JY. Alright, drill pack. Ooh, the follow up after that too. It's not even being phased by the icicles. He was a little bit too close for it to affect them. But Lemon is getting a lot of early damage here. Got to get in the corner, but what an anti-air to get himself out of the set corner. The Sand Tomb, just like that. This is almost already an even game again. The dig outlasting the counter property from Lemon. Alright, sliding and trying to just get all this damage. Great counter attack from Lemon. No problem,
yeah, it looked like
J-Tor.
KDK was trying to steal some turns there.
Oh yeah, they definitely were trying to, but Lemon made sure that the turns that were there were for him and meant for him. A whip from KTK, and Lemon is capitalizing on it beautifully with this combo. Oh my god, like 8 things there. All right, the patience from both. Wow, he was able to get that JX. Or that is JX.
JA.
JA, gotcha. A little different than a regular homing, so okay. Well, not homing, but like strong aerial. But the dig's gonna get stuffed out though. Yeah. Oh my good lord, Lemon. Just getting these mix-up combos here. The Mimikyu coming. That's gonna put a stop to that. KTK's turn to get good damage here. That was a good dash back from Lemon. Is it going to be a whip punish? No, it will not be. Ooh, the pizza cutter is going to put Lemon back on the ground. We're going to push them. Not going to be on this wall. Whoa. Okay, rushing in. The whirlpool burst attack. Jumping away from it once again and getting the JY. Drill peck. That's going to be a clash. Jumping at the same time, but Kitty going to be the one to win the exchange. Taking that round just barely. Very strong 8A?
The last move there?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the drill or
The Garchomp drill. Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's his release X.
Release X, okay.
And there we see it again.
Yeah, we did mention the just the abundance of release options that Garchomp players have to utilize. And it's very tricky to have to balance that with timing and just in the moment of these fights. But KTK doing a beautiful job of just continuous momentum. That could be the, oh my god. Oh wait, he just perfected this, man. Goodness gracious. What a way to take that set. Way to send a message. That last round being a perfect in KTK's favor. What can you take from that?
Yeah, Lemon had a good start early on, but KTK was adapting to was kind of catching on to a couple of Lemon's habits uh, on offense, and he was able to find some openings there, like the with the Aqua Jet into the burst attack. Now that looked like he might have just dropped it. I don't know if he was trying to go for like a tick grab type of thing again, or if he just missed the confirm and it looked like he might have just dropped it, because it would have been a true combo if he had just gone straight into the burst, but it looked like he just missed the confirm there. There were a couple times where uh, KDK was waiting for like specific jump options, was ready with the drill, and times where KDK was able to look up for some openings on defense too, where he could jump out of the corner and create some opportunities in the corner for himself. That really turns things around for him in those last two rounds. So I think that's more or less what we saw in that third game there.
Oh yes, very much so. Thank you for that breakdown of that. So as we move forward, we are going to be seeing KTK rise back up from the underground bracket and get the run back against TEC in Grand Final. Let me update things here on the overlay for you guys, and we're going to get right into this. And I'm going to put on a prediction for the stream chat to be able to engage and you guys to predict who you think will win this next set.
I'm sorry if you hear any noises in the background. Sometimes it's probably me shifting in my chair. I've got this really this really creaky chair.
Oh, okay. That's alright. I was kind of curious, but you
Yeah,
clarified.
that's probably. I figured you were wondering why, because I've been trying to shift over a few times, and this thing is really loud.
Oof. It's alright. And then echoing J Tour, exactly how I felt when this game was first revealed to us. I was like, yo, we're finally getting a game that's just gonna give us like a realization of how we wanted to control the Pokemon, how we saw them fight in the anime. We're like, yes, a proper
Hmm.
fighter for these guys, and it's
That's
in an
exactly what
open
I thought.
space. You said exactly what you thought too.
Yeah, like when I saw that comment, I was like, I think a lot of Pokemon fans, when they see this game, they think of, oh, this looks more like what's in the anime.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And then people are able to go in and create iconic fights like the what was it, Charizard and Blastoise, and well, geez, what else will there be? If we had a Greninja here, we could do Greninja and Charizard, but you know they didn't. They dropped the ball on that one. I guess we'll have to accept Charizard and Sceptile for that. You know, the ninja aesthetic.
Yep.
But as far as accepting this, we're gonna see what we're gonna that was a terrible segue. We're going into grand finals. So TEC in winner side, KTK from the loser side. Let us see what we have to unravel. Scizor Garchomp.
Yeah, I
The
figured he'd
repeat.
probably stick with the Garchomp since he's managed to kind of come back and take a couple sets with the Chomp. But I wonder if he's going to stick with the Whimsicott, or if we'll see a switch to another support.
We shall see, because I don't even know that part.
Oh, he's going
It's like
Litten this
Litten.
time. Interesting.
Kind of uncommon nowadays, from what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get
Oh,
you guys on the picture.
that was really nice. KTK dashed up right up inside the range of the 2A and was able to actually force it to whiff and get the punish with the 5Y string.
Very clean.
Yeah, it looks like KTK is really trying to stay inside that 2A range this time. Trying not to let TEC wall him out like he did in that last set. But KTK gonna throw out the Litten, catching TEC during the bullet punch and getting this full conversion at the wall. Just gonna put him back in the field phase. TEC's got burst though, and he is going to convert with the staples. He's also got the Magikarp up. Is he gonna try to get a sneak a grab in here? Not quite. But TEC is gonna close out that round with the air-to-air off the JY conversion.
Alright, I'm here. So, starting off round number 2 here. Just gonna start getting some damage as Garchomp will do. Ooh, great U-turn from TEC. Picking up another grab. Right, the staples, create some distance. KTK almost had that counter. TEC was just a little bit faster and just keeping that pressure on. Litten, a little bit too far away for it to do anything. Now TEC just being knowledgeable of the distance that Litten travels. That grab, maybe? Ooh, just close enough to not kill. Oh, that was a good mix-up from KTK because they were gonna. It seemed like they were gonna do something else. TEC got out of range. Oh my god! What was? I'm not sure what that was, but that was a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, yeah. I believe if you're in burst, you get the full animation, the full follow-up if you landed 8A that you would normally only get off of burst. But it looks like TEC is gonna get the staples conversion there to close out the round and take game 1.
Very strong stuff from both players. KTK was coming alive and dishing out big damage, but TEC was able to just use their expertise of spacing and just managing their tools to get the proper follow-ups that they needed.
Yeah, KTK was in the right place at the right time on a few occasions in that first game. But after a while, he started. There were a couple times where he had overextended his pressure, and TEC was kind of, especially with like the U-turns, was able to like start getting him off him, and also like catching a lot of like jumps and stuff that he was trying to use to get past the bullet punches with like the air-to-air conversions.
So basically, that you're saying that they were able to start to catch on with the air game, and that's where just that adaptation came into play for TEC, and that's how.
Right.
Yeah, that's how he was able to maximize his advantage state, and there you have it. So we're gonna go into game 2 and see what it can come out of both players, mainly KTK, to see if they can get themselves on the board here for this grand final. Let us keep on going.
I was just looking at the frame data just now, and Scizor's bullet punch is a mid-low, which means you can jump over it, like if you're 5 frames or later into the jump animation. So jumping over it can sometimes be a more effective way of trying to navigate through it instead of doing things like CADC.
To get around bullet punch.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, but you just got to be careful, of course, to not get in the range where you can get air to air or anti-aired by Scizor.
Oh my god, just that projectile was just so perfect to just keep Garchomp in the air for so much longer. TC just, well, they were getting a big combo, but now that's, I'm going to KTK. Grab, good hack from TC, pushing them back in field phase.
Ooh, that's gonna hurt.
That was a good lit in there. Wait. Oh, he still hit him. Cause like,
oh my goodness.
Because it seemed like it was gonna miss because of the properties of that command counter. I forgot the name.
Yeah,
of it.
Stone Edge. Yeah, Stone Edge has a lot of iframes on it after the activation, but Scizor, the active frames on Scizor's burst attack outlasted it and caught him at the tail end of it.
That was very clutch from TEC. It looked like KTK actually, unless TEC got that critical hit. I could have swore it looked like KTK did, but there hasn't been any damage taken from TEC yet. So it must be the latter.
Yeah.
Staples are digging around it. Gonna CADC into a homing attack. Very good from TEC. The bullet punch. I'm gonna get the tornado pop up. The counter attack and some bullet punch. We're stopping the dig from happening. And extending all this damage. Bouncing off the wall, having a full gauge of synergy to work with. Blocking, that's a punish for sure. That's probably death, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Man, nearly a perfect TEC, taking that second game rather convincingly, actually.
Yeah, KTK was trying to make some reads, like we saw with the was trying to look for opportunities to create some punishes and make some reads, when he walked, or at the beginning of that last round, he tried to walk around the staples and grab him, but he walked into the staples and got hit by it, and that was the crit that you saw. And yeah, and then the dash up Sand Tomb, which was the dash up Stone Edge, which was kind of the correct read on the hover stance Y, but the burst attack cancel let him beat out the iframes. And there were a couple of times where KTK was trying to navigate around the bullet punch with the JR, the fast, his fastball cancels and dig, but he just wasn't able to find those gaps to get in and create space. So that was what let TEC be able to maintain control and take that second game.
Very nice. So what we're gonna do now is check out game number 3 and see if or see what rather KTK does to adapt back, because it is not too late, because once again, that's the 5 situation. It is never over until it is over.
This is true. He does have one more shot to try to bring this back, but because he is on the loser's side, he's going to have to do a reverse 3-0 and then play another set to take the whole bracket. We'll see if
could you imagine?
We'll see if he can make that heavy lift.
That would be such a huge a huge thing to first of all do. Just getting the reverse 3-0, and after you come down from that hype, you have to be like, okay, there's one more set. I have to make sure I continue to play as strong as I can. A lot of pressure, and it takes a strong mindset to do it. So we'll see if they're able to put themselves on the board here to start that climb. Alright, getting some damage on the board so far. Excuse me. Will break JY. DEC. Gonna be the tornado to pop him up. And a great aerial ace. Send them back into the field phase. And whoa, that was a very good timed move. Timed and spaced move. From TEC gonna use that and maximize this dual phase. Keeping the pressure, keeping in that shield. Eventually, one of those counters was going to connect. Magikarp support is there. If Garchomp attacks physically, that is just going to be a combo interruption. And feeling the fear from that Magikarp, not really going for much, if any hits at all there, and going to pay the price for it.
Yeah, Garchomp does have the benefit of having Stone Edge iframes where he can iframe through the Magikarp if he armors an attack from TEC, but he might have not have been aware of it in the moment and just opted to stay and block instead.
Okay, I see. Written. We're gonna get clipped there for a piece of that. That's a great dig. So much damage.
Good on KTK to be aware he was close to building the synergy meter too, because if you do the back Y and field raw, you can build up synergy that way.
Interesting. Oh my gosh. Good dig. KTK showing signs of life. They're not out of this just yet. Final round of game number 3. It's a set point for TEC. The KTK is not going to let them have it easily. Beautiful tech punish. Ooh, 2 attack triangle wins for the win. DC starting to bring this back with a super strong signature combo. Alright, Staples using the pushback. The dig, that's punished for sure.
TEC does have the Magikarp up, so he could, and he is going to pop it right here.
Yep.
Try to keep KTK out, but he gets, but instead he gets a full combo with the 6X interacting with the dig, and KTK now recognizing he's behind, is popping burst here, but he does have the Litten on deck as well, but he needs to kind of find the right moment to pop it out, but it's going to,
Finding an opening. Wait.
Good hit confirm off the Dragon Claw.
Is that dead? I think it was scaled. He's not dead!
No. Gut
he caught him!
Gut.
That will be death, though. Oh my god. That, god, yeah.
I think KTK was trying to meaty that pocket sand, but it looks like he actually misspaced it. I can't tell if he like misspaced it or if it actually whiffed. But either way, he got TEC was able to catch him with the wake up burst attack there.
Yeah, catching him on the end lag of another move just gave him the perfect opportunity to just burst. To shoot their own burst attack, and theirs connected where KTK's didn't kill. Scizor's will kill. That'll be a 3-0 victory. TEC over KTK in a grand final. That is going to be TEC defending their champion position for the 4th week in a row. That is very, very good.
For sure.
Go ahead and put on that screen to say congratulations. And, it's got old information there. It's still accurate.
It's still relevant.
It's still relevant. Was it like was it actually 4-0? Let me look back at TEC's run. Got one, two,
It might be
three, four.
5.
It's 5 this time, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say because we had 17 entrants this time.
Yeah, make the bracket a little bit bigger. You love
Mm-hmm.
to see the bracket be a little bigger right before the big season ender. Number 60 champion. And then prelude to end of the road. And road number 6 next week. That's the one with the top 3 prize pool. And for people that have been playing in the Road to Greatness season for these past couple months, this is the chance excuse me. The chance that you get to prove to anybody that's coming for purely the money or the glory. Or just wanting to come in and shake things up in a fun bracket. This is our regulars' chance to prove if they're able to take out people who are just known threats, or people who just kind of come in out of the woodwork and make a name for themselves too, and maybe segue into the next season. But all players are welcome for end of road number 6 next week for North America. So definitely come if you like want to test your metal. See if you want to try to throw hands of TEC here, our local Scizor god. Then Donald's with the lol, not really sure, but yes, lol vibes. I'm gonna reach out to TEC and see if they're actually available for a quick interview.
Yeah, I was about to actually ask if we were gonna try and get him in here for that. I'm trying to think of questions on the spot right now. Do you have anything you want to ask him, like, when we get him in here?
My mind usually draws blanks. Not gonna lie.
Okay.
I mean, like all I can really think of is like, what does it feel to be a 4-time champion
And what
in a
you
row?
usually ask.
What I usually ask.
That's okay. I got a couple I've fished out of my brain. I'll try to think of at least a third one.
Wait. Thought I was saying short stream. Is it me? Hour 13 minutes. Yeah, we actually got this done a lot faster than I thought we would.
Yeah, we did. We did do a little bit of a speed run there.
Yeah, I think because
bracket.
I think every set ended up being 3-0 or 2-0. To be honest.
Yeah, that was part of it too.
That was part of
was
it.
what? Yeah, a lot of the sets were kind of like one-sided, which kind of made things move along considerably quicker than they normally would.
Oh,
We also it also helped that we didn't have a bracket reset in grand finals, which would have essentially counted as an additional set to go through.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like TEC is down for the interview. So
Great.
Gonna have those questions ready to ask the mans. All right. Let me look at the. Oh, there we go. He's in. Hello.
There it is.
Welcome.
Hey,
Congratulations.
TEC. Glad to have you back in here.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Great. So, there were a few things I was gonna ask you that I was just now thinking about, and I'll pass it to Sheen afterwards if he has anything he wants to add. The first thing I wanted to ask, since now we're looking at over the next couple of months, we've got a few events coming up around the corner here with NEC. Well, yeah, NEC's coming up in early December. We also have Frostfire also in the first week of December up in Canada. And then later on next year going into the next year in February, in the first week of February, we'll have Frosty Frostings. And I was curious to know if you were now it might be a little early, of course, so I don't know if you've made any plans yet, but are you at least considering trying to go to any one of these 3 events coming up in the next few months or so?
Crossfire is too early to tell, but I do want to go to both Frostfire and NEC. I do want to try and go to both.
Okay. All right.
Hopefully it works out for me, but I'm not 100% confirmed on that yet.
Yeah, especially since, Frostfire being in Canada, and I don't know if you've gotten your passport and everything else. There's with it
I
with
don't think the flights. Yeah, I don't think the flights are gonna be that serious. It's just a matter of if I get the time off more so.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Of course, traveling across, uh, traveling across, the border sometimes can present some complications, though. I know they've recently lifted some of their traveling restrictions, which should kind of facilitate that process a little bit more. But it's of course we're all still trying to. I'm trying to get going to NEC or trying to go to NEC as well. Trying to still talk to some people in my local FGC scene about traveling and making plans to like room up possibly in near Philadelphia. It's kind of early to tell, of course. So I totally get like just trying to still figure things out, and finding out whether you're not gonna be able to take time off. But we're definitely looking forward to seeing if you can make it out there. The next thing I wanted to ask about was, and I don't know if I've asked you a similar question in previous interviews. I might have. Let me know if I have. But or if I did, it may have not been the same question. But what do what would you say, since you've been so consistent, just not in just in this bracket, in this tournament series, been in a lot of like just online Pokken tournaments, and well, both online and offline. What would you say, like, what have you seen, at least in your experience, is the most important? What is there a particular skill you would say is like the most important to like just being able to play at a high level, and reach that point where you can start like placing higher consistently?
I think that kind of answer will more so differ based on the person. I don't think there's really one definitive answer to that, but I just think that in my case, getting up to this point just took a lot of I wouldn't say just like continuously playing against the same people over and over. It's just a matter of I don't know. It's just continuing to improve your mindset and it's like looking at losses to see what you can do better rather than like looking at losses to see what you can do better rather than just looking at the things you did wrong and kind of just stopping there. Like it just takes a lot of mental fortitude to. I mean, it would take a lot more than most people would think. To take loss after loss after loss and be like, okay, what do I got to do to improve, rather than look at the other person and what they're doing and think, well, what they're doing just completely like counters me or does something that I don't like or what have you. It's like self improvement. It takes a lot more than most people would realize when it comes to mental fortitude, but it just comes with the experience, I think, because I just feel like I've gotten better and better at that as time has gone on, and the more I face off against really good players, the more I push myself to learn new things and have a better mindset as a whole and just continue to improve my character.
For sure. Another question I would add as kind of a follow up to that, one thing I noticed, like I've noticed in a lot of your sets, but particularly in this last set, you had adapted to a couple of things that KTK was doing like mid match, like when he was using the Litten, like at certain times you recognized he was using the Litten kind of more preemptively, and you recognized your character's specific options to punish the Litten calls, like the aerial ace on reaction, or the back Y to go over the top. would you say that level of like situational awareness is like key? Would you say that's one of those key components that you would say is vital to like being able to like set yourself apart from like some of the other players as you're trying to improve?
I just think it's a matter of memorizing the little things that come up with each specific matchup, whether it comes to you versus characters, you versus players, or even like you said, you versus supports. It's just a matter of taking in as much information as possible and retaining that information. And that's just something that I'm sure everybody strives for, especially in fighting games. But that's something I have also I strive to improve as a player, just because there are some things that I may have done earlier that I forgot, and things that I have to remind myself of in a lab real quick every now and again, or something that like snaps back into my mind after it happens, like, oh yeah, I can do that, or I can't do this. So it's just a matter of retaining as much information as possible in the middle of a set that makes you that separates you from most players. If you're able to retain like a vast majority of small bits and pieces of information, the more you do that, the better odds you are of winning different kinds of interactions. Like it's just a matter. There are things like basic fundamentals and neutral, but if you have a lot of little tidbits stored in your head waiting to be unleashed just once or even twice, like that kind of stuff can set you apart and take games.
Mm-hmm. It's funny you especially emphasize, well, I think it's important, especially you emphasize that ability to retain information, because sometimes, and I'm sure you've had this experience as well, I have to for me to really not just figure out but internalize how to deal with a specific situation. I have to be exposed to that situation in a match multiple times over until I remember, oh, I have this option that I can do to deal with this in this situation. So I have to go through that situation multiple times until it becomes like second nature to me sometimes. So I think part of what you're getting at is really getting that experience can play like a big role in like helping you to get exposed to those situations as well as to be able to like retain those. And just looking and also just looking for those is and a lot of how you're going to see those, of course, is viewing your replays. You're gonna look for you gotta watch your own replays to see where those situations that are giving you trouble are, and be able to like take that to the training mode, or ask people, okay, how do I deal with X? And people like, oh, okay, you can do this. It's like, oh, okay, and then you can be able to that way you can be able to go and try that out next time. So, and something I've also been trying to practice is like, I think this is something I've heard people complain about this in Pokken, where time, kind of particularly with the transitions between duel to field phase, you have like that pause. It's kind of slows down the momentum of the game at times, or can sometimes make the game go a little longer than it might otherwise. But I actually personally appreciate that, because you can take a moment while you're getting grabbed and getting like tumbled from the wall splat to like take a look around at like the gauges, see where you are health wise. Do you have burst? Do you have your support? Do they have burst? What might be an option you can use in this situation? That kind of thing. I don't know if you share that same sentiment, but that's kind of a thought I've had recently, is trying to like check when the opportunity presents itself in a match, whether during a phase shift or while I'm getting comboed, to kind of look around and see, okay, where am I at? Do I still have the life lead? Do I have my support up? Where do they have their synergy? Do I need to start being more active here, or can I sit back and play passive for a little while longer and wait for them to kind of do something and maybe use that information accordingly?
Yeah, I agree with that. And I honestly, there isn't really much of anything I would change about the phase shifting mechanic. It's one of the best parts of Pokken, and what we've always said really sets it apart from other fighting games. I won't go into it too much because I'm sure this kind of thing has been heard a lot, especially with Pokken people. But yeah, I completely agree with that sentiment. And there's honestly not too much I would change about it because it's just a really interesting mechanic. There's so many little intricacies that work with meter management and neutral and all kinds of stuff where it's just the core of Hogan's identity. It's what sets it apart, and I think it's implemented really well.
For sure. I'm glad we could kind of agree on that. I think that's pretty much all I had to bring to this interview. Was there anything else you might have wanted to add, Sheen, to what we were talking about, or if you had any particular questions of your own you wanted to ask TEC while we have them here?
A couple things actually. Just like to bipedal off of the bouncing off the wall mechanic, between like the field phase shifting mechanic. Cause like I was kind of thinking like while y'all were talking, I was thinking, like I agree with TC of like there's nothing really needs to change, but I was kind of curious about like maybe the impact or how long the pause would take. Like maybe if that differed, but depending on what move, how strong or light it was, maybe the pause would be less or more, depending on how like aggressive the move is. Like maybe if like like if it's like not like maybe if it's most grabs, the transition would be a little bit more seamless. It'd be a bit faster going between it. But if you got like a grab that has like a just a harder animation, then maybe that would make it go longer. Or just if it was a wall combo and and the last hit of the combo is like this hard hitting move, then it would take the time we've seen in the game, or maybe even a little longer, like an extra like half a second or so, for it to go on, just to kind of signify the impact of what different moves would be between phases. I mean, I think that could be the only thing that could change if they ever did change it, but otherwise, yeah.
I don't know if I would go that far, but one thing that does bring up something that I think would be really cool, um, going into what should I say? Like going into the mixture of like Pokemon and Tekken, because that's what this is. One thing I think would be really cool to take from Tekken, if we were to get a Pokken 2, would be like to get those slow-mo effects on the moves that kill. The moves that are meant to kill, getting those slow-mo effects on moves that are going to actually knock out the opponent, that would be sick to put in there. Not like not in regard to any kind of phase shifting, but just in general. Like if you're gonna get hit by a move that kills, have like some kind of sick camera angle and slow mo effect added to it.
I could see that
like
getting
that
added
too.
in a future Pokken, because I think I see more games are starting to add that, like Street Fighter 6 has right now in their current builds. They have like a slow-mo effect when you have like two drive impacts are like coming into contact with each other, and it kind of like builds up that suspense to see, which of these armored moves are going to land first. Something similar like that for Pokken might be pretty neat. I could see them adding that, and I would like to see that, not just in this game but in other fighting games in general.
Yeah, I could totally see that being added. Well, I don't know if yeah, I'm sure it would come from Harada, but we'll see how it works out. Because I mean, I'm sure again, Pokken development's got quite a while. Because I don't think it's even being made yet, but we'll see.
Now they the latest word was someone asked Hoshino about it at Worlds, and I was gonna tell you this about this later, Sheen, but I might as well bring it up now since we're on the topic.
Hey.
Someone did ask Hoshino, one of the developers, at Worlds, about the possibility of a Pokken 2, and he said he would, talk to the board about it, but we shouldn't expect anything anytime soon. I know. And to follow up on that, though, there was the survey that's being put out to certain Nintendo, I believe, like Nintendo members, or like I think like Nintendo, like part of the online Nintendo membership. They're asking about Pokemon spin-offs that people would like to see, like a mystery dungeon or a a mystery dungeon or like maybe Pokemon Ranger or something else. So, of course, if you happen to get that email, I don't know if you're on that list, Sheen, but if you do, you can definitely vote for Pokin on that. So that survey will probably. It looks like the Pokemon Company might be looking to just bring back certain sequels or certain spin-offs, and they're trying to, determine what the market is looking for. So we'll probably, depending on what the negotiations between Hoshino and the board and what the survey results of the survey are like, we'll probably determine, whether or not we get a Pokken 2 down the line.
Could be, yeah.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for that survey, because I would not mind seeing a Explorers of Sky DX. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, people have been asking for that since the original got a DX remake.
Right, which I adore, by the way. Just to put that 2 cents in. Oh,
Yeah, it's another
man.
really under-repped spin-off on the Switch. It's really good.
Oh, it's really good. I enjoyed it. I did a playthrough of it just to plug my own self again. As far as just to self-promote there for me having a start to finish playthrough of it on the channel. If you're curious about that, I got a playlist of it there if you want to check that out. But my last question that I had was piggybacking into what we were saying earlier about like mindset and retention. Do you have any sort of like specific things that you do to like help you better retain information? Like different people would have like, I guess, a system of how they would train themselves to remember things better, or to have things be more muscle memory and be able to adapt in the situations faster. Like how would you describe your retention process?
So it's nothing too. It's nothing too crazy special, to be honest. Because I've seen some people have like entire notebooks dedicated on the stuff that they
Wow.
they need for things like matchups. I've never really gone that far. I'll lab out like interactions that I need to remember for upcoming matchups and all that stuff. But really, I really want it to be muscle memory rather than having to look at notes. I mean, obviously, like having that information on paper and on hand helps, and saying it's not bad. It's a bad thing, but
Yeah.
I mostly just want to have, like in that kind of match, I want to have the memory in my head for like, okay, this is the matchup. I know what I got to do, and because at the end of the day, I mean, if I have the notebook, then I'm doing it to. It's just the way I think about it. It's not. I don't think this is the set in stone way it is, but like, if I have information like written around me, I don't see that as retaining information. I see that as me forgetting and then having it plastered everywhere in order to remember later. But I want to have it just in my brain as much as possible, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, a mindset of if you're going into like a standardized test or something for school or a college, yeah, your flashcards during studying, but you don't want to, because of course you don't want to quote unquote cheat. You want to have that information already just like known, and like that's what you've been labbing or studying in this scenario, like bridging together. So yeah, I get that.
Yeah, sometimes like one test I recently took, they allowed the professor might allow you to have like a small note card with like some little bits of information written on there if you want to, and maybe we could compare that to the guy who brings a binder to his locals to reference when he's sitting down at the setup. But I could see where similarly to TEC and like those kinds of contexts, I would prefer to like have that information internalized and be able to like kind of just pull it out when I'm mid-match or going into the set, just going through different things in my mind, like knowing what to look out for, knowing what kind of my overall strategy is, and a lot of that I'm frankly still learning. I'm really some matchups come a little more naturally than others, but I'm really trying to get into the process of like what are my goals in this matchup? what supports, like what particular, that's another thing I'm trying to change too, is like try to be more intentional with like support picks. Like, but which supports might help me accomplish a particular goal that I'm trying to meet in this matchup, and that kind of thing. Like, just be able to have all of that on hand and be ready to like just apply it when I go into play in tournament.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. That's all I got though.
All right. Well, I think that's probably all we got here. I don't have anything else to add. Um, I just want to say thanks again, TEC. Well, first I should say congratulations again on winning for. I think you guys said on the podcast he's won like I think 17 of these now, or like 20 of them, 27. Would this be 28?
If I was consistent with my note taking from when I was looking at PR information like a few weeks ago, I could have definitely told you that answer offhand, but I've been slacking a couple weeks. But I know it's at least actually I have like a number from like a little while ago, because I did write down everybody's number of wins for Road to Greatness. Let me see. That's not the one. Let's see. Another part of the note here. That's still not it. This one. See if I wrote it in there. Let's see. Road to Greatness. The North America winners. I had it up to like. Let's see. I had it written up to season 5, where after number 50, because at number 55. No, this is not actually. Ever since number 45, DC already had 19 wins at that point in the series.
Yeah, well, it's probably
so 14 later, 16, no, 14, 15 later. I've lost the number of how many more he's won since then.
Well, he's probably a lot closer to 30 than he was before. So, but either way, congratulations on winning another one this week. And we look forward to seeing your performance in the coming weeks as we look forward to some of these upcoming events. Always appreciate the time.
Yep, not a problem, guys. You have yourselves a good night, all right?
Have a great
Thank
one.
you. You too.
Later.
Later.
See ya. All right, I think that's pretty much all. Was there anything else you wanted to add before we kind of wrap things up here?
Not really. I was looking through the top 8 raps real fast, trying to like math that last bit. In my head, I was like, yeah, if it was 19 at that point, then it must be adding boop boop boop.
Yep. Well, I'm sure you can probably get that information.
Oh yeah. Yeah, probably from just looking at stuff, or from like either Riggs or from Blues, who usually does the PR graphics. They've probably been keeping that information up to date from the last couple of weeks. I think the number would actually be 27 now for TEC as far as wins.
Okay. That makes sense.
That is a lot of W's.
For sure.
He's won more, well, almost as long as the series has been going on. Almost halfway. That's crazy though. It's just when you have enough wins in a series that you take almost half of its life of how many of that they've been, you know you're good. You know you're good.
For sure.
But yeah, that has been Road to Greatness number 60, our top 4, plus an interview with the champion TEC this time around. So we thank you guys for tuning in to the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Hope you found the matches entertaining. Hope you found the commentary to your liking. I thank Aberration once again for helping with said commentary.
Always a pleasure, and looking forward to doing one of these again next week.
Oh yeah, because next week is End of the Road number 6. That is the big boy tournament. It's the one with the prize pot for the top 3 finishers as far as standings go. So I mean, even if you don't win in the losers final, fret not, you get some prize money yourself. And if you get to grand finals, you are guaranteed second place, so you're gonna get money regardless. So that's always the exciting thing about that. Like I said in the beginning of the stream, it's where people can come out of the woodwork and they say, okay, I challenge whoever has been the most consistent or the best in this thing, and we'll get to see if consistent people who frequent top 8, or if we have people that like TEC frequently win this, to see if they can take on the likes of someone who wants to come with the extra incentive of a prize pot, or you know, the money and just the extra competition, just to kind of
For sure.
compare people who have been playing week by week against people who have probably grinded more offline, or maybe just haven't really played online things like as much, but still be able to
Right.
and to still be able to compare how they can do against people of high level as well, that can come out and just give everybody a run for their money. It's always exciting to see that kind of shake up happen.
Oh, definitely. It'll be especially interesting next week, you know, with the prize pot and everything else. We'll probably get some killers that normally aren't regulars here who will come out and probably might shake up the usual top 4. So, or I guess depending on how many we have in bracket next week, we might do more. We might do more than a top 4. We might even do like a top 8.
Yeah, I was
If we
thinking that in my
do
head
that.
just now.
Yeah, yeah, that'll be especially fun to like watch, to see so many matches with so many talented players. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, that would definitely be a bigger undertaking, but one that I would be more than happy to try to spotlight if I can. With that many sets, it does warrant, you know, possibly having more commentators on standby. So if you're available next week, it would be relying on you, where you could take the helm a little bit more maybe, and then if we have a third person, maybe I could
Right,
even
maybe.
take breaks for some of the sets, and then uh just let you and the other hypothetical commentator do your thing for a bit, and then maybe I would give one of y'all a break, and then we would do it, and then just kind of cycle among everybody, since there's more content to go through.
Right. We'll see how that goes.
Oh yeah, we will definitely see how that goes. We'll kind of like discuss it beforehand, just to
Right.
kind of see where everybody's heads at, where everybody's more comfortable with, as far as switching in and out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm excited. We'll probably see people like Marks and Slice come through again. They've been mainly in the end of the roads. I haven't really seen them in the weekly ones, but they usually kind of emerge from their training dens and try to shake things up as they do.
For sure.
All right, I won't hold you any longer though. But yeah, thank you once again, and hope you guys in chat enjoyed once again. We're gonna be still on for a bit. I'm gonna do like an intermission where I'll go back to the stream starting soon screen, and we'll be muted, and I'll play some different music as we transition into some Mario Kart 64. If people want to continue to hang out and watch that. But as far as my time with Aberration, that is going to be it. So thank you, and I'm going to go ahead and segue into that. So if you want to go ahead and say, you know, like a last thing, or like just a bye to the chat, this is the time.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I appreciate you guys always letting me take the chance to come up on here. And I'm definitely looking, like I said before, I'm definitely looking to seeing how things shake out with End of the Road next week.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you. Thank you. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and mute both you and me as I get ready for Mario Kart. So if this is where your time with watching us ends, thank you guys for watching, and hope you stay safe. Have a good rest of your night. I will see you guys in another one. But for people who are going to be sticking around, I will see you guys shortly with some Mario Kart 64. See you guys next time.